I was just finished with my UFC recent fight announcements video where I go over all of the UFC recent fight announcements, giving my reaction and breakdown to every single one of them. Just finished. And the second I was finished recording the video, Marlon Moraes versus Petr Yan got announced for the main event of UFC Kazakhstan. And I'll be honest with you guys, I am so happy that we've had this announcement. I'll be honest with you, I wanted Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. I thought all the beef necessary was there. All the components for a perfect fight were there as a build-up for the next guy to take on the title at Bantamweight. It was all there. The shit talking back and forth, the relevance of them competing for a shot against Cejudo. I was looking forward to this matchup between Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling. They've decided to go with Marlon Moraes versus Petr Yan. I understand. We don't have any Kazakhstani superstars. We need to make the most of Petr Yan's flyover fans from Russia. I completely get it. This is an amazing fight. Let's talk about it. I love it. It's got its own main event, which I think is necessary for a healthy division. Every title elimination bout, in my opinion, should be for 5 rounds in a main event of its own and it gets its own show. I feel like that should be compulsory. And now we've got an amazing one in Petr Yan versus Marlon Moraes. I'll be honest with you guys, They're each other's kryptonite. I feel like in order to beat Petr Yan, you have to be explosive enough to KO him and make him pay for his aggressive movements. And in order to beat Marlon Moraes, you have to wade forward, get in his face, and put the pressure on him and break him down slowly and gradually with a cumulative and volumed amount of shots. And they're both exactly that to each other. Marlon Moraes has devastating power and damage and can make guys pay for coming forward. Petr Yan is a pressure fighter that wears on guys and is maybe the best guy in the bantamweight division at doing it, as he has proven recently in his most impressive wins over Uriah Faber, Jimmy Rivera and John Dodson. He's a monster. He's an absolute fucking monster. I swear to God, he made Douglas DeAndrade quit on the stool. He's just destroyed everyone. Petr Yan is an absolute fucking monster. I don't give a fuck if he's 5'7". He's a scary, scary man. Okay? The Siberian gangster. I feel as though he's going to get the win over Marlon Moraes, and I actually love this for the division. I am so happy that Marlon Moraes, Petr Yan, Aljamain Sterling or Corey Sandhagen didn't get the fight against Henry Cejudo. And I'm so happy in hindsight because originally I was hating on the whole Aldo getting the title shot outcome. I thought it was a bit stupid. He was coming off a loss. I wasn't a fan of it, but now it's in Brazil. I kind of understand the situation they're in. And also, now we get to build a bigger profile for our title contender. We've got Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. That fight may as well be announced as well, because that's the only other fight that's going to happen in the top 5. 100%. Neither guy will take any other fight. We've got Marlon Moraes versus Petr Yan, and whoever was the 2 guys left out. There were 4 guys. I just listed them. Moraes, Yan, Sterling, and Sandhagen. Whichever 2 got matched up together, the other 2 were going to end up fighting each other as well. We've got Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. Another amazing fight. Hasn't been announced yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be announced within the next few days because that's the only logical fight that makes sense. Hopefully that gets maybe the co-main event of UFC Oklahoma. A good position on a card maybe. I'm looking forward to Petr Yan versus Marlon Moraes. Amazing fight. Really is. This is title implications. If Marlon Moraes wins, the only way he's going to get a title shot is if Aldo's the champion. If Henry Cejudo beats Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes is going to have to win yet another fight after this one. He's in a pretty tricky spot right now. He just is. It's pretty hard. Once you get finished by the champion in your title shot, it's pretty hard to earn your way back up. Like, Anthony Smith's going to have to win at least 3 fights. He didn't even get finished. He went the distance. And he's still going to have to win 3 fights against 3 top contenders. Marlon Moraes has got a lot of heavy lifting to do, and he is beginning that heavy lifting. If he beats Petr Yan, he's the man again, and he's looking for a title elimination bout. I'm looking forward to it. Marlon Moraes can crack Petr Yan and put him to sleep. I know Yan is a monster, Siberian gangster. I get it. He's a human. Marlon Moraes hits very fucking hard, and he can catch you. He can catch you coming forward, being reckless, and that's what Yan does. But Yan is so technical about doing it that I don't think Moraes is going to be able to catch him, because this isn't some autistic rage and charge forward from Petr Yan. Like, this is educated pressure, you know? As Darren Till would say, unidentified pressure. That's what it is. Yan comes forward, you don't know what he's going to hit you with, you know that he's going to hit you with something, and you're constantly flinching. I've never seen opponents flinch more than when they fight Petr Yan. He gets in their face and he makes them cower. Seriously. Everyone ends up against the cage against Petr Yan, and no one has been able to do a damn thing yet. And Marlon Moraes has a knack for putting his back against the cage and allowing someone to smother and pressure him. I feel as though this is a bad matchup, more so for Marlon Moraes than it is against Petr Yan. Both guys can win this fight, don't get me wrong, but Petr Yan, in my opinion, momentum's on his side, age is on his side as well, I believe. I just feel, I don't know, Marlon Moraes is 31, he had a tough night out against Aldo. I thought Aldo won, but I thought it was a close fight, could probably go. I don't mind the decision in the end, to be honest with you. I did think it should have gone to Aldo, but I was okay eventually with a Marlon Moraes decision. I'm sure we all were when we look back at that fight and look at it without all the controversy and all the live reactions and the live feelings that come with the performance. When you look back at the fight and just watch it silently to yourself, you can see it going either way, I feel like. But Jose Aldo, in my opinion, I would have gave him the decision. Either way, Yan is the younger guy. Yan is the more technical guy, I believe. I know Marlon Moraes is a monster, don't get me wrong, but with Yan, it just seems to be something a little bit different. Marlon Moraes has fought better competition, I will say that, but Petr Yan has fought some monsters as well. He really has. I mean, John Dodson just bounced back against Nathaniel Wood, showing that he's not over the hill. You know, when Petr Yan originally beat John Dodson, I thought, oh, well, this is it. John Dodson, downward spiral. All he's going to do is lose from now on. Maybe it's time for him to hang up the gloves. He just KO'd Nathaniel Wood. He didn't KO him. He dropped Nathaniel Wood and the referee stepped in. Because it was an early stoppage. Because there seems to be a fucking lot of them in the UFC recently and it's pissing me off. Either way, it was a good fight. I thought John Dodson was done at that point. But now John Dodson has proved that he's still around and still beating top contenders. It makes the win from Petr Yan look a little bit more impressive. I will also say that Marlon Moraes has beaten some guys. He's beaten a lot of good guys, including John Dodson himself, by split decision. A lot of guys seem to go that way with John Dodson. I just don't know, man. I don't like this for Marlon Moraes. I don't know why he would take this fight. I feel like Marlon Moraes could do really good against Corey Sandhagen. I think that would be a perfect fight for him. But I guess he wants the highest ranked guy he can get a hold of. Who's the guy that you think deserves a title shot? Oh, it's Petr Yan. I'm going to take on that guy in Kazakhstan. I like the attitude from Marlon Moraes. I really do. He wants a fight that's going to get him motivated, get him out of bed, and get him back towards the title. And this is exactly the fight that you've got to take against Petr Yan. I just don't think he's got it in him to get the win. It's just a conflict of styles that don't add up, in my opinion. One guy goes backwards and hates being smothered. One guy goes forward and loves smothering. It's tough to get behind Moraes here, but he is very powerful. He is the biggest guy at bantamweight that Petr Yan is ever going to have faced. I just think Yan's got it in the bag, man. I really do. I like it, but the 5 rounds doesn't help Moraes, man. It really doesn't. And that's something I only just thought about just now. 5 rounds in a main event. Yan's going to come out more patient. The only reason Yan comes out with such an aggressive pressure normally is because he's got 3 rounds. He's got to make this work. He's got to break a guy within 15 minutes. And at bantamweight, guys don't gas out that quickly. So you've got to fucking exaggerate the pressure by 2. Now he's got 5 rounds. He's going to be a little bit more calculated, leaving less openings for Marlon Moraes. He's going to take his time with the physical and mental breakdown and torture. And he's eventually going to finish Marlon Moraes in the 4th round by TKO or in the late 3rd round. I'm telling you guys, if Marlon Moraes starts getting bullied around, he's not going to survive. He really isn't. He could survive in other fights and go to the decision, because when you're fighting, and I've said this so many times before and I'm spitting everywhere as usual because I'm autistic, but I've said this many times before, there is a mindset change completely different when you are gassed out in the 3rd round and you know it's your last round. You can make it through that round. If you're gassed in the 3rd round and know this is the last round before you get your hand raised because you've already won 2 rounds, you can survive that round. If you have a 5-round fight on your hands and you're gassed out in that 3rd round the same way, same exact fight's gone on, you're up 2 rounds, but you've lost the 3rd and you're starting to feel a little bit tired, the mental drain and torture is amplified tenfold by the fact that you know in the back of your head that you've got 2 more rounds on top of this one. There's a completely different aspect to the mental and physical game. I feel like Marlon Moraes is going to quit on us in those later rounds, and Petr Yan is going to walk away with the dominant victory, earning himself the title shot. To be honest with you, this is a better fight for him than Aljamain Sterling. I thought Aljamain Sterling was actually the best chance of beating Petr Yan. Maybe Corey Sandhagen would have a better chance. Marlon Moraes is the best matchup for Petr Yan inside the top 5, other than maybe someone that I'm forgetting about, of course. But out of the 4 guys that are on the 4 horsemen of the bantamweight division, out of those 4 guys, Marlon Moraes is the guy that Petr Yan's going to want to fight, and he's got the fight. And it's a great fight to have. And it's on June 13th. And he's going to be doing the damn thing. And it's very close to Henry Cejudo versus Jose Aldo. So they're going to get a lot of crossover hype. You may even see Henry Cejudo in the crowd. Who knows? Whoever wins the bantamweight contest, you may see them in the crowd looking to build their next fight. But if I was Corey Sandhagen and Aljamain Sterling, I would sign a fight right now. And I would try and sign it before Petr Yan versus Marlon Moraes. Because there's recency bias. If I was Corey Sandhagen, or if I was Aljamain Sterling, and I wanted to fucking find some way that I could get in front of Petr Yan if he were to defeat Marlon Moraes, I would book an event a little bit closer to May the 9th, UFC 250, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Cejudo versus Aldo. Maybe book an event on the UFC San Diego card, which is a little bit sooner. Maybe book a fight on the UFC Australia card. Who knows? Maybe book a fight on the UFC Oklahoma card in the co-main event. Sterling versus Sandhagen would be an amazing co-main event. I know that for sure. Book a fight. Get in there before Yan and Moraes. And maybe you'll have a chance at stealing a title shot if Moraes wins, or maybe if Yan doesn't look too impressive. Other than that, if you're not going to do that, then the winner of this one's probably going to get the next title shot, unless it's Moraes. If Yan wins this one, and Sterling hasn't spinning wheel kicked Sandhagen, and Sandhagen hasn't fucking flying triangled fucking Aljamain Sterling in the first round, then there's no hope Yan's going to get the title shot. They've missed out. Yan versus Moraes was the smarter matchup for Yan, because it meant that there could be no argument. Because if Yan took on Sterling, and Sandhagen took on Moraes, and Sandhagen beat Moraes, Sandhagen may have more of an argument for a title shot than Yan. You know? Because Moraes beat Sterling. You beat a guy, I beat the guy who's beaten that guy. I get the title shot. I beat the guy who's #1 contender, who has a win over the guy who just fought for the title, technically, even though a lot of people thought the other guy won. I feel like this is a good move from Yan. And I feel like I know why he hasn't taken the Sterling fight, because this way, there's no questions asked. He's getting a title shot if he wins, because Moraes is the #1 contender. I'm looking for the fight. I'm looking forward to it. The co-main event needs to be Alexander Rakic versus Volkan Ozdemir. No, it doesn't. Don't listen to a word I say. It needs to be Alexander Rakic versus maybe someone like Misha Serkinov. Maybe someone like Ion Kutalaba. Maybe a co-main event of Kutalaba versus Ankleev 2 if it gets overturned. Or maybe just rematch them and start it all over again from #1. Who knows? Kazakhstan's going to be a fun card. I'm looking forward to it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Click that button there. Goodbye.